What's up, brothers and sisters? Kunal here, Bulls on Wall Street. Let's take a look at the stock market. Things were flying today. Sorry for the late video, but the Detroit Lions are out for Monday Night Football. MCDC, best coach in the NFL. Detroit Lions going to the Super Bowl. The QQQ's breaking out. We got things to talk about here, so let's dig into the indexes and what the heck we're going to trade for tomorrow and the coming days. So look. After the kind of big little tariff tantrum here, I think that's probably the easiest name to call it. We've ripped it right back. It doesn't mean that we're out of the woods, like we're still beholden to the news, but taco, right? Like everybody is playing the taco, which means like, Trump puts the market down and then, people buy it right back up. And that's been happening for quite some time. So here we are face to face like a couple of silver spoons. It's looking pretty good here. The SPY is also looking juicy. So we've got a full-blown thing. Even the IWM, which does what the IWM does, which is kind of like fail and break and all that kind of stuff. Even this had a pretty big day here. So overall, the market looks like it's just picking back up steam. Big story for today, I thought. Not big story for the day, but I thought, Apple had a really nice run today, broke out to all-time highs here. We've had, quite a bit of time between, the last time it was in this area, pre 2025. We finally broke out today. We had a gap and grind essentially on it most of the day, and dude, it was trending, like it was moving pretty clean. So I think that helps lift up the indexes, obviously. And then, dude, we had names like across the board just kind of going. And so let's dig into the watch list for tomorrow. I think there's quite a few names still looking pretty good. I would say for me, I would give my watch list a B+. Like I did think that there was nothing like epic, like things I had to just buy tomorrow. But there's enough things to do some day trading. And maybe a couple, potential swing trade opportunities if we get locations. I thought the CRDO has remounted here pretty well. So after the big pullback here, I wouldn't say big, right? But after the pullback, we've broken out over the EMAs here. And I think had a really nice day today. I think this one is bottomed out here. And I'm looking to see if it can kind of hold through this zone here. And if we can kind of peek its way through here. And it may need to chill for a day. And again, kind of take out this range, and that should put it, back up into this area. I like that overall look of it. BKKT you can take off. RIOT also had a really nice remount. Man, this stock has always sucked to trade, and it's been just giving really good range and, good liquidity, 22 million shares in volume. No spread on it, right? Like you just have like a nice run on this. I'd keep this one on the watch list. BTDR, like it's... I don't know what this is when you get like fucking 4 doji candles in a row, like, Indian shooting star candle formation here. But it is tightening up. You can see here, you got a bigger kind of a breakout in the works here. Like this is kind of its all-time highs. And it's just marinating like right around there. It's marinating right around there. And it's the right sector. This sector is going. I thought Galaxy looks pretty good too. We'll dig into that in a second. But let this may need another day to tighten up, and then it's going to do it. Galaxy looks pretty good here. After this trend, you've just had like about 10 days of consolidation here. You can see it's just a little pet the snake, right? Don't say that to a nice lady at the gym. You get booted out, but you got yourself, right? Pet the snake. It's looking decent here. So let's see how we kind of start to marinate here. Like I said, like it's not perfectly clean. That's why I give a lot of these B+. You've got like wicks up and down, and they need to congeal a little bit. You know what this reminds me of is like, dude, you ever go to a bar, right? And you order pizza with your buddies, right? And you got that buddy that's maybe had a couple too many beers, or he's just a little bit of a slob. The pizza comes out, and he always grabs the first slice and tries to eat it, right? And all the cheese fucking falls off, and he falls for it every time, right? It's like you got this great pizza, you got double pepperonis, you got the quesos, you got some ranch, some ranch for the crust, maybe a stuffed crust. I don't know, right? What happens at your local bar. But you get in too fast before the cheese congeals, and then it's like all falls down, and then he's just like sauce everywhere, and there's no cheese. Then you got to pick the cheese up off the cardboard, and then you got to eat the thing. And so now you're just eating like this clump of cheese, and then you got this like other slice in your hand that's just like all red dots from the sauce. And you kind of don't want to eat that because it doesn't have any cheese, but you don't want to put this clump of cheese back on there because it's going to fall off. And then there's meat. I wait 7 minutes before I touch my pizza. Minimum. I let that cheese congeal, right? I let it firm up a little bit. I might even throw a little Parmigiano on it, right? And just kind of get that thing to congeal properly. And then all of a sudden when you get in, it's amazing. So like what this thing needs is like it just needs a little bit of that congealment, right? It's got to like tighten up and form up and firm up before it can do what it needs to do. All right, so just kind of keep that into mind. I think Sadig is also looking like, look, with all this data center stuff and this energy stuff with the data centers, I think there's two plays in this that we have to watch out for in the next few months. One is natural gas, up 10% today. It's been in downtrend for quite some time. I'm wondering if this is the bottom on this bad boy. All right. We got winter coming. We got these data centers, right? I'm wondering if this natural gas is cheap as it is with the solars, also near these bottoms, if that's like, the next kind of AI play, which is these, because look, if fucking, these battery companies like SL and butt plug can go, right? Why not some natural gas, right? Like something that's real hardy. Why not? So keep an eye on some solars. I would keep an eye on some nat gas. The nat gas itself, there's not that many good nat gas stocks that trade, really. They're mostly garbage. But AMD here, he's got a level here. We took this at the open. I did the 240 calls on it. And an okay move here, but I think this is still day tradable. And if it has any kind of these kind of 2-day dumps, I would think that it gets bought up. USAR, whoa, this is, so look, after that big push, got to the 40s, you dropped in half, not exactly half, right, but close. Pull back into the bone zone. Nice little tail on this thing, remounting the 9. I think we put this on our watch list for tomorrow. Shopzilla, dude, this is looking pretty good. It hasn't done shit since its last earnings. Like, it's just been until the next earnings is coming up in like 2 weeks, right? It hasn't done anything. I think before the next earnings comes out, like, it's gotta show its under roost to somebody, right? Like, it's gotta flash us a little. Let's see if we can get into this. SMCI. This is also, right, a little bit of a pepperoni pizza. It's like, it's beautiful. It's there. It's the right sector. There's rumor out, right, with XAI. I don't know if that's going to be anything. But, like, it also needs to, like, test, congeal, right? Don't be just jumping into that pizza, and then you're going to be ready to go. So just kind of keep that in the back of your mind. And, dude, I like this one. The only issue with these is that they move on the gaps, right? So you got this big push. You come back, and now you're starting to break through this thing. That's where you're going to have yourself a nice, dude, you're going to have yourself a nice little hootenanny here. If you can take out that range, I think you're in a good spot. We got Apple we talked about. You know what? I was trying to get iBid off the 200, but that's already gone. Galaxy we talked about. And then look, you can do some of these other ones, I think UAMI's got a spot here, right? That breakout, pull back into the bound. You got big reversal stick on this thing, guys. Yo, what's up with CRML, right? Like, this motherfucker doesn't go at all today. Put this on watch. Like, I don't know what's holding this thing back. This one in TMQ didn't do nothing. So add both of those, because the way UAMI is going, you would think this stuff is back in flavor. So just something to kind of keep in the back of your heads. Guys, I gotta go. My father-in-law's on the way. Frankly, I got like weird stuff around the house I gotta clean up. I love you guys. Peace.